Sorry, you make it.
Whenever you're ready.
Good to go?
Yeah. So just
Okay. Good evening. My name is Scott Ehlers. The spelling on the last name is Ehlers. Fire Chief of Clearwater Fire and Rescue. Earlier this evening at 19:08 hours, we received a report of a structure fire here in Bayside Waters, which was formerly known as Japanese Gardens. We responded immediately. Simultaneously, there was a report of an aircraft having an emergency at the airport, where the aircraft response vehicles responded to. The tower over there was able to get a radio transmission from the pilot that he was having a mayday, and the aircraft went off radar about 3 miles north of the runway, which is in this location here. We arrived on scene at 19:15, and at that time we found 4 trailers heavily involved, mobile homes, that we quickly extinguished along with the ARF units, and then identified that there was an aircraft in one of them. We're in the process of working through with FAA and NTSB to identify the aircraft as well as the pilot or any other members that may have been aboard that aircraft. The personnel on the ground, we are still trying to find out on the main trailer where the mobile home that the aircraft crashed into, if there was any victims inside. All the other mobile homes were cleared, and there was no victims in any of those. They were able to get out of their mobile homes, and they were not transported to any hospitals. We do have one injury that I think is secondary to the entire incident, a person that we refused, but other than that, there was no other injuries.
How many people died in this that you know of?
We don't have any. We don't have any count yet. Again, obviously there is a fatality, most likely on a high-impact crash like this. We have not got to that yet. Again, we have to coordinate with the FAA and NTSB as we move through. Our primary purpose when we got here was to rescue any victims that were identifiable and ready. In regards to the fire as well, putting them out, but then also now we have to secure the scene and start looking at any indications of what occurred here.
Was it just the pilot on board, or were there other passengers?
We do not know that. We have to still find out more in regards to where it came from, what its intent was. Now we do know that they were in contact with Tampa Approach, and that they were having some issues. That's about all that we know.
is the belief that they were trying to land at Clearwater Airport?
I don't have that information.
Chief, in terms of what happened here on the ground in the home that took the most impact, have you just not been able to make contact with the people who live there, or are you still in the effort to search and find who might have been?
That's correct. Our biggest thing right now is still to try and find out if we have any other victims. The biggest part of that, as you can probably understand, a mobile home doesn't withstand much in the first place, so an aircraft crashing into it, it pretty much demolished that mobile home. And then the ensuing fire consumed most of the rest. So now it's a tedious task of trying to get through and find that. We are still in the process of that main portion. There's still some hot spots that we have to try and get to. The problem is we don't want to ruin the investigation aspect of it. So NTSB and FAA are on their way. Clearwater Police and the Sheriff are already here, and at some point we'll shift over to helping them and assisting them in finding that out.
Do you know how many total people were in the other trailers that may have gotten out of their homes, or that your crew may have assisted in getting out?
I can get you that number. I don't have that exact number, but there were the other mobile homes that were affected because of the fire. They did have residents in them. They were able to get out, and we accounted for everybody.
Chief, we know that people said that it was so hot on the approach when they were trying to go up and even help. Can you describe the scene when you got there and how long it took to get those flames at least down a little bit?
Yeah, the good thing about what happened here, proud of the response by Clearwater Fire Rescue, Largo Fire Rescue, St. Pete Fire Rescue, but also Clearwater Airport aircraft response units. When they, again, as I said in the beginning, they were simultaneously dispatched. As we're getting the structure fire, they were simultaneously dispatched to a aircraft in trouble for their runway from their tower. Their tower was able to let them know very quickly that the aircraft had gone down, went off radar, and it went down north of the airport. And the one ARF truck, we call it the aircraft truck, proceeded this way. So they were here quick, and they can knock those intense flames down really, really quick with those trucks.
So they were here first and were able to get that done? Or?
No, our engine was here first. We were first on scene, but they were right behind us. so which was really a tremendous help.
And that's a truck that can handle plane
Aircraft
crashes and
emergencies,
aircraft
that's
emergencies,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
You're talking about jet fuel, you're talking about some other elements here.
So it's not a. Again, we not sure what type of aircraft. We don't have a tail number yet or anything like that. But most likely a small aircraft, and that usually uses avgas. But burns very hot, very flammable component. Yeah. So,
Single engine, one engine.
yeah, we believe it's a single engine from what we can see. Yes.
When you're approaching a scene like this, knowing that there's been a plane crash and all of the homes are in such close proximity to one another, are you surprised to see that so many people were able to make it out of those homes that were impacted safely? Did you expect to see more injuries on scene?
I was expecting more injuries. Honestly, I was expecting more damage because again, as you said, with an aircraft, it doesn't matter if small, larger, whatever the case may be. With a compact area like this, they usually will leave a trail. This does not indicate that at all. So we were very fortunate, but we still have the tedious work of trying to find out if there are any fatalities, which we believe the only aircraft there is.
And being so close to PIE, in your experience, how many small engine plane crashes have you responded to in this area?
We've had a few, both over at our Clearwater Airport, but also working with the other units around here to St. Pete Clearwater Airport. But this is probably the first one in a good 8-9 years.
After searching for potential victims, what's next?
So really the big thing now is to get NTSB and FAA hooked up with the detectives from the police department and then start sifting through and finding out what really occurred on this. And that's really going to be the FAA and NTSB call, where we'll step back and provide a support role to continue to support them. But that's really the lead agencies on that.
Have neighbors given you any indication of who lived in the home with the most impact, a family, a single person?
So they're working on it. They're working on the police department is working on all that information to try and find out how many, if anybody, was in that.
Thank you.
Thank you.